Okay, so a little bit of historic background here to frame the concept of synthesizing. The root of synthesize is synthesis, meaning to combine, put together, or to collect. To synthesize is used frequently in chemistry, combining compounds to achieve a more complex type compound. For scientists, this makes perfect sense. For the rest of us, it's just Greek. Let's get a little more down to earth. Recipes are a form of synthesis as they combine different ingredients with a scrumptious outcome, like cake, pie, or jello. Okay, enough of that, I'm getting hungry. This process of combining different items together is the basics of synthesizing. The principle varies by area or subject, but the outcome remains the same. In writing a literature review, you are combining the various authors' thought processes, summarizing what you believe they are saying, and developing a well-developed conclusion to your paragraph. This is going to be where you show your chair and the research body your expertise. So here are the summaries I entered in the article database for my dissertation under the Knowledge Transfer and Volunteer Tutor section for Module 5, and coded with an F for findings. So Roderick, 2013, found that volunteer tutors define literacy based on perceived social interactions influenced by the training materials presented in tutor training sessions. Teague and others, 2013, found that the idea of literacy is based on the number of GED successors, especially in federally funded programs. Belzer, 2013, found that how adult learners define the idea of literacy are viewed by outside entities, such as the policy writers, as individuals who require sympathy because of their literate inabilities. So let's add parts 1, 3, and 4. That will be focus sentences, bridging sentences or sentence, and bridging and/or transition words or phrases. So focus sentences. So here are the friends or summaries. Let's present that first. Now the focus sentence. The idea of knowledge transfer is not ubiquitous and depends on volunteer tutor and program ideas for tutoring and learners. Differences in ideas about literacy direct how instruction is approached from a program, administrator, political, and volunteer tutor perspective. And then we have our friends, or your summaries. Let's move on to bridging. So there's only one bridging word used here, the word found. Notice in the paragraph, a bridging sentence was not used, indicating that not only are the components not linear, but that you may not need to use all of the components in every paragraph. This means that we can go straight to synthesize. Now let's add the synthesized sentence at the end of the paragraph. The synthesis creates a concise ending to the paragraph that sort of sums up what the researchers found in your own words. So here is the synthesized ending to the paragraph. Regardless of how research, programs, administrators, or the adult education field view adult literacy learners, new policies that affect program implementation, processes, and standards of instruction are required to continue providing services to low literate adult learners in community-based organizations, which volunteer tutors continue to need assistance in obtaining and transferring. The synthesized sentence concludes the summaries you have written, solidifying your paragraph. Notice that there is a bridging word in the synthesis, the word regardless. What this has done is indicated to the reader that the paragraph has come to an end, and that you have a voice and are able to summarize your thinking, and you have given the reader options to think about your perspective and make up their own mind. So let's complete our connections. If we put all 5 parts of the paragraph together, this is the result. You have your focus sentence, you have your summaries, and you end with a synthesis. Notice that this paragraph does not have a bridging sentence, meaning that you may or may not need to have a bridging sentence in every paragraph. It also means that you may have or need more than one bridging sentence in the paragraph. That really depends on how you put your summaries together. So let's look at another example. Here's an example from Rodriguez-Genario's dissertation. So first, here are the 5-part process components. And here is the paragraph. Notice here that there are 2 paragraphs that discuss the same topic. So let's break it down. In these 2 paragraphs, first you're presented with the focus sentence, then he presents some friends, then bridges to what happened in 2013, back to some friends, and then ends with a synthesis covering both paragraphs. Notice that transition words were also used throughout the 2 paragraphs, such as in other words, stated, and surveyed. Both of these paragraph examples and the example in the previous video provided differences in how the 5-part paragraph process can be incorporated. So let's review. There is no one right or correct way to bring the parts together. That will depend on your research, your summaries, and how you choose to put them all together. Just remember that when you put your summaries together, you will need to read it for clarity, determine where to place bridging sentences and/or transition words. Be sure to always end your paragraph with a synthesis, as this alerts the reader of the end of a thought, paragraph, or subject and the beginning of a new one. And finally, make sure your paragraphs flow nicely, with smooth connections between sentences, thoughts, subjects, and ideas, so that the reader is not confused or lost. Okay, go forth and connect your dots for your literature review based on everything covered in this course. Have fun!